Dan had no answer for when he hit the ground. I loved how he was chasing the guillotine. If you know you're going to get taken down, threaten the submission, maybe it opens up a scramble. I think he had a dominant performance tonight. I think there's no other way for him to go except for him to fight Ilia Topuria. Does Ilia Topuria jump and avoid Arman Tsarukyan and go right to trying to fight Islam? Look, Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker, it kind of went exactly how we thought it would go. Dan doing what he does. Dan, I didn't realize, and I knew Dan was always a tall guy, but man, he's enormous. He looks huge standing next to Arman Tsarukyan. Arman's shorter stature, but thicker, short, thick legs, thick back. You can see great wrestling. It just ended up being one of those fights where Dan had no answer for when he hit the ground. I loved how he was chasing the guillotine. If you know you're going to get taken down, threaten the submission, maybe it opens up a scramble. That wasn't the case in this situation, but you could tell they were kind of tight. Arman didn't waste any time, but man, talk about the sheer athleticism to literally spin all the way around 360 back into somebody's guard to get out of that guillotine. He was like, I'm going to abandon ship right now. And he was on his side, on his hip. He just spun all the way around with the guillotine on.
It was like an alligator.
Yeah, exactly. It was good. That's a great analogy there, buddy. And I think it goes along. What kind of, you got a camo sweater on there?
Yeah.
Like a leafy camo sweater?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the Everglades there, right?
The Amazon,
right?
the Nile.
Yeah, Amazon, the Everglades there. Some alligator country right there is what you're wearing. The ability that he has, man, the athleticism he has, the balance. If you guys go back and watch some of his fights, he doesn't get enough respect for his straight athleticism. His fight with Gamrot, his fight with Islam when he first came into the UFC, his ability to scramble, his ability to balance on one foot to avoid takedowns was absolutely insane. And just what he was able to do tonight to Dan Hooker. I don't want to say I feel bad for Dan Hooker because this is what we signed up for. But Dan Hooker to me I'm always going to be a fan. A guy that can do what he does and come out there and just he's stuck having to fight the best wrestlers at the top. And so that's very unfortunate for him because I think it'll avoid him from ever trying to be champ or ever being able to be champion. But I think that no matter what, I've always enjoyed watching him fight. You're going to get the best out of him. He's going to try to lay it all on the line. Just in this situation, not many people have been able to stop Arman Tsarukyan's wrestling. Not Gamrot. Gamrot got taken down several times. Not Islam. Islam got taken down a couple times. Like he's able to wrestle with the best of them in the division, not just in the division, but I think in the sport. If you go back and you take a look at some of the stuff that went viral with him and Chimaev wrestling, Chimaev's a lot bigger than him.
A lot.
And this guy could scramble. This guy could move. This guy is a phenomenal wrestler. He's got the mindset, too, of like, hey, I got the machismo, man. I'm the man right now. I believe I can be the champion. I think he had a dominant performance tonight. I think there's no other way for him to go except for him to fight Ilia Topuria. Here's the thing. Does Ilia Topuria then go up and fight Islam? I know that that's a whole other conversation, which I'll probably talk on the live show tomorrow night about. But I just want to go does Ilia Topuria jump and avoid Arman Tsarukyan and go right to trying to fight Islam? After all the things he said about Islam jumping to get away from him, does he jump to get away from Arman Tsarukyan to avoid the wrestling fighter? It's just a question to be had. I mean, look, you guys can drop some stuff down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. But it definitely is something that, do we start calling him the duck? Do we start saying that he's ducking him? I mean, we did it to John Jones when he did it to Tom Aspinall. They did it to Islam when he did it when he wouldn't fight Ilia. Should we start doing it now for Ilia because he's not going to fight Arman? I think he will be forced to defend the title one time. I don't know if that'll put him in a position to be fighting on the White House card, or I don't know if that'll put him in a position to fight on International Fight Week, whatever it is. But he's got to, I think, get one win in the lightweight division, defending his title outside of, the Charles Oliveira fight where he won the title. But I look forward to seeing Arman and Ilia Topuria fight. And I also look forward to seeing, Islam fight, another top contender in the 170 pound division. But with Dan Hooker, where do you see Dan Hooker fighting in the in terms of the lightweight division? Who do you see him fighting next?
That is a good question. Has he?
Let me throw my pick out there first.
Okay.
And then you go ahead and see if you want to. I want to see him and Max Holloway at 155 pounds. That's the fight I want to see.
A BMF title fight?
Yeah. If anyone deserves it, I think in the sport, it would be Dan Hooker. He deserves an opportunity to fight for the BMF title. I think he needs to do it though, coming off of a win. So he needs to get a win and then potentially line that fight up for later on. But I think I would like to see him and Max Holloway. That to me seems like it would be a slobber knocker of a fight.
Yeah, off the top of my head, has he fought Benoit Saint Denis yet?
No, he has not.
That could be an interesting matchup. I know Benoit's coming off of a win, but that's a name higher in the rankings than what he is now. So why not?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, I do like that fight. I mean, realistically, I think for Arman Tsarukyan, there's only one way to go, and that is straight to Ilia Topuria. I think he's paid his dues. He's got 2 wins since his back went out. But since that happened, since that happened, I do like that. Since that happened, he's rattled off 2 wins, and I think they're very impressive wins. I'd like to see how he can do moving forward. So I think you're going to end up seeing that fight, which is a good fight. I think that's the fight they need to make. Does Ilia Topuria end up taking it, or does he try to move up and try to fight Islam next?